and also the topic, but I'm sure you know because you received lots of emails about today's session and you are very, very also about the programs. Just to kindly remind you, today's session is about economics. We have two universities, Universität Magdeburg and Universität Jena, and I will be presenting both speakers separately in a minute. And of course, I'm always very thankful for our guests for being here, for having time, and then also participating. Now, who is behind this session? This is Smart German University, which is Germany's largest database of English to study programs. This simply means that if you want to study in Germany fully or partially in English, you are very welcome to use this study finder, which is there for you to filter out the programs using multiple tools, multiple criteria, for example, about language requirements, I don't know, about application mode, city, program, subject, etc., etc. So this way you can narrow down your search and then use time and your resources efficiently so that you find most suitable program. The filters can be combined, and for example, for today's search, it's also, you can just write in subject economics and then see the available options. What we also have and are happy to share with you are the articles, and those articles are really honestly helpful because it's not just a sum of information, but it's written by the experts. Therefore, we try to also share our insights on how it's to study in Germany, maybe about motivation letter. It's also about living cost, I don't know, Uni Assist, all the details. The articles are also free of charge, so you are very welcome to have a look. We also try to interact with you, therefore we have at least 3 times a week a webinar on different topics. We have subject webinars like today, but we also have general webinars about broader topics which are relevant for most of the students or applicants, like scholarship, Uni Assist, visa, generally studying in Germany, where we cover those broad topics. Therefore, I always advise asking such kind of questions during those webinars and then concentrating on the programs during subject webinars because it will be more efficient. And our team, which is really international, we are based in Hamburg, Germany, but we come from all over the world, from different countries, which has lots of benefits because we try to share our way of living and studying in Germany at the same time as we speak multiple languages, which means that the articles and also webinars are done in different languages. So if you prefer reading in one of them indicated languages, you are welcome to change the article language. Now, just briefly to show you how you can use our database to filter the programs for economics, for example. So if you are searching programs for economics, you can go to the subject filter, which I hope you can see my cursor here. And then the filter shows you 215-degree programs. But it's really easy also to narrow down, especially if you know, for example, I'm sure you know that you want to do bachelor or master. So here's a breakdown. And then maybe you want to do an English-only program, which means that right now your German skills are not strong enough to take some German courses. You can also filter out the programs like this and vice versa. There are more options available, for example, program features, some requirements, with or without admission, etc., etc. If you just don't know how it feels studying economics in Germany, then you are welcome to check the subject pages, which provide broader overview about universities that have such kind of programs, application admission requirements, but generally, and I always emphasize this because all programs have their specific application requirements, and you will, you will witness this today as well because both guests will mention those, and they might be also different. Then also, of course, tuition fees, rankings, etc., etc. Those subject pages, I can also put the link in Q&A or in chat, sorry, and then you can have a look in case you want. One advice from our side is not to be guided by single facts. For example, only cities, only university names, only rankings. So all of that matters, and it could be also even better if you combine those criteria. In Germany, there are great universities, and all of them have perfect, really nice programs. So don't be guided by this kind of single aspects. Today we have two universities, but in Germany there are also universities of applied science, and the main difference between those is that universities are more research and theory oriented, while universities of applied science are more application and practice oriented. More details about this is available in our article, which if you want I can also share in chat. Another advice from our side is that when you are searching for programs, for example, in economics, don't search by subject names or program names, because then you will be missing out many programs. Not all programs are called Bachelor in Economics or Master in Economics. It can be also other namings or combination of words. So play with words, or better use the subject filter to filter for the desired programs. Now, as promised, I was quite quick. Therefore, I would like to invite our first guest, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, who will be talking about Master in Science level in Economics, Economic Policy Analysis. And it's from 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨 University, Magdeburg. Some facts about the program are on the slide. The map is also visible just to locate yourself, but I'm sure Ms. Voigt will have more beautiful map or location to show to you. Now I'll stop screen share and then hand over this virtual floor to her. You are still muted.
Do you hand over to me or to her?
To Ms. Voigt.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for your interest, for joining us today. And I would like to inform you about one of our Master Economics Study program, the program Master of Science in Economics and Policy Analysis. Before we start to talk about the study program, a short information. What is our city about? Magdeburg is a middle-sized city located in the east middle part, in the Middle East, located in Germany and quite close to Berlin. So we are 90 minutes from Berlin away. We have Magdeburg is the capital of the state of Saxony-Anhalt and has 240,000 inhabitants. Magdeburg is rich in history and was founded about 805. So we have in Magdeburg no problems like the bigger cities, Berlin, Hamburg, Munich. We have no problems with accommodation. Our accommodation is very affordable. And the good thing about our campus is it's very central located, close to the city center. You just have to walk 5 minutes to the city center. Furthermore, I would like to inform you that Magdeburg is well known for the Emperor Otto I. Magdeburg was his favorite city. As often he could come, he went to Magdeburg, and he really likes to live here, and developed some 100 years ago Magdeburg as a very interesting city. Furthermore, maybe you heard about Otto von Guericke. He is the patron of our university, and he invented the air pump. Furthermore, we have the composer Telemann was living here, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨 von Repko, and Magdeburg has a very, very strong handball team, one in the world best handball teams, and our sports club is very successful in swimming and rowing. The Otto von Guericke University was founded in 1993. We are quite young. Doesn't matter, we have about 12,000 students enrolled here, and more than 30% are internationals. Our students can study in about 9 different schools. We call it faculties in Germany. Like engineering schools, we have a medicine school, a management and economics school, natural science, math science, etc. As I told you, our campus is very central located and very compact. This is what our students really like. It is easy to reach one building or reach, one building from another. And our Mensa is very close on campus, etc. On our campus or close to our campus, you find affiliated science institutions. For example, the Max Planck Institute is very close to our university, and a medical engineering science institution is close, and our university has several company corporations. We are very, very proud as we are an EU Green Alliance member since 2022. And that means that we are working on sustainable ideas with 8 other EU partners together. So that means we try to develop, not we try, but right now we are developing several modules which we would like to offer together. We are developing right now, or working on developing joint degree programs, and even trying to extend our student mobility. So this is a very new thing for all staff members and students and lecturers. And however, we are very excited to have this new program and working on the idea of being sustainable. Another very important concept of our university is the internationality. We try to reach more and more international students. We are in the process of getting our campus more internationally orientated. That means that we are in the process of having all student gremiums in English, that we have our committees in English, that we are really involving our students on campus in the daily task, not only at the study programs. So on our campus, you find a wonderful sport center. We have on campus a language center. Here you can proceed your studies with German or improve your English language skills. And we have a library and learning center on campus. Furthermore, our university is well known for our English study programs. So the Faculty of Economics and Management is a pioneer on our campus for the English study programs. Our faculty was founded in 1993. So we have here 29 professors plus doctoral and guest lecturers. The focus of the faculty is on economical, political related empirical research and on topics national and international. More than 2,000 students are enrolled at our faculty, and 30% are internationals from more than 65 countries. So that means that the mix of our international students is quite big. And this is, of course, we are very proud about that, but this is, of course, a big challenge for everybody. However, we really, really like to have these international teams in our classrooms. Our students can choose from 10 study programs. We offer 4 bachelors, 1 in English, and 3 in German. And the 6 other study programs are master study programs, and you can study them in English or German English. Our faculty has a very tight cooperation with a regional bank, the Sparkasse, and the Institute of Economics in Halle. Furthermore, there is a Max Lab, which you can find on our faculty. Here, students may may practice the theoretical knowledge. And furthermore, we have an interactive cooperation with the Interactive Entrepreneurship Center. At our faculty, you are able to take part in a semester abroad program, and we are providing more than 50 student mobility agreements. So that means that you can choose from 50 agreements if you would like to go abroad in the EU, for example, for a semester. As I told you, our faculty is very well known in Germany for the international study program, as we started them in 1996, so more than 25 years ago. And one of those study programs is the Master of Science in Economic Policy Analysis. The Master in Economics Policy Analysis was started in October 2020. It's quite young, but not but quite old enough that we could collect some experiences. The objectives of this study program are financial economics, quantitative measures related, and it's evidence-based policy analysis. The topics are in applied economics, on job market economics, family or population economics, or health economics. So the collaboration with the Institute of Economics in Halle, the so-called IWH, is so strong that the professors which we have working on this institute, that means they have a professorship here at our faculty and working at the institute in Halle. So this is a great chance for students to get like updated information about research in economics, or even get student assistantships. Another special in our faculty for the economic policy analysis study program is the founded Center of Evidence-Based Policy Analysis, the CEPA. This society is founded by the study program director, Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝘁. And the idea of the center is to get involved the students and doctoral researchers to inform about latest news and research, and even, you know, share jobs or whatever is interesting for this area. Our alumni you can find as doctorates and lectures. You can find them as staff members in policy consulting firms. They are working in research institutions and in governmental administrations and institutions, nations and worldwide. Okay, so now we would like to talk more deeper or go deeper in the study program. The degree which our students will receive if they are finished the study program is a Master of Science. So that means it's not a Master of Art, as in our study program, a lot of quantitative methods are included, like statistics, advanced math is very important for our study program. As I told you, the study program language is English. And the duration, the minimum duration of our study program is 4 semesters full-time. We start annually in the winter semester in October. So you can apply just for the winter semester. And altogether, our students must degree gain 120 credit points to be able to get the degree. In our program structure in economic policy analysis, there is a master thesis included. So this is, our students will learn how to do research, how to write research papers, and to make sure that it's working well. So we included in our new program structure, which is valid from October, a scientific work module. So that means from the beginning, from the first semester until the fourth, we will train our students to do research and to write research papers. Okay, we will talk about this a little bit later. We don't take any tuitions. The tuition is paid by the German government for all students. The only thing our students have to pay is for a semester fee, 280 euros. There is this is a student enrollment fee, which each student has to pay, and there is a public transport ticket included, and the Deutschland ticket. Furthermore, with this OVGU enrollment, you receive discounts and reductions at the Mensa and in some theaters, etc. So the program structure. Unfortunately, you cannot see the program structure right now. What is not very convenient. However, I explained to you, so the program structure contains the modules which students can or have to take during their studies. In the first semester, or the start of studies in economic policy analysis, starts with 3 compulsory modules, which every student has to take. This is econometrics, microeconomic analysis, macroeconomic and macroeconomic analysis. Furthermore, and this is new, as I told you already from October, we introduced the module scientific work. So here the program director will train the students, to work on papers, to do research. And they will introduce special methods which you need for analyzing or what is helpful for your study program. Furthermore, our students have to take compulsory electives in the first, second, and third semester. And here our students can choose from a list of offered modules which are recognized for their study program. So the idea is they can follow their interests. However, the faculty makes sure they receive the knowledge which they need for, being an expert in economic policy analysis. 2 supplements are included in our economic policy analysis, and supplements modules are kind of wide open, and here students are really very open in taking a module which they are interested in. During the second semester, a master thesis is a compulsory module. In the third semester, another master's seminar. And all students have to write in the fourth semester. So if they're almost done with their degree, a master thesis and give a research seminar. So altogether, all modules make 120 ECTS. And if our students gain that, they are done with the masters. The requirements. If you think about, oh, this is a wonderful master program and that prepares me wonderful for my future career, which admission requirements will apply? First of all, you should have gained an undergraduate bachelor's degree with a minimum GPA 2.9 by the German grading scale. Then your bachelor degree should be relevant to our economic study program. So that means you should prove at least 4 modules in quantitative methods like statistics, advanced math, econometrics, operations research, or for example, quantitative methods for marketing. So something like that. And 12 modules in economics, finance, management. The idea really is that you can start through your masters, because we have no preparation courses for our masters. So the preparation course is our bachelor's, and students really should go further with the masters. Furthermore, you need to prove your English skills on C1 level. That means IELTS 7.0 or TOEFL 95 or higher. In the presentation, you find the link to the applicant's checklist, and there you find the overview of all admission requirements and application requirements. So now you would like to apply for the Economic Policy Analysis Study Program. Here's your application procedure. You have to apply via UniAssist. There is an online application required, so you have to download all the required documents by latest July 15th. Yeah, that's it. If you have questions about that, if you need more information about application documents, application procedure, I would like to ask you to send a message to isp@ovgu.de, and we will provide you an info email with all necessary links and information. If you applied and you received an admission letter, you can enroll online in September, and we will start our classes in October 14th, so in middle October. A week before, we have a free welcome and onboarding program for our new students. So now I hope you like the study program. In case you have further ideas, please send us an email or just ask your questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation, dear attendees. The applicant's checklist is in the chat, so the link. The info email is also in the chat. And Ms. Voigt, when you said the structure, I just quickly shared my screen with the program structure, so I think it was not that difficult for attendees to follow, but I'm sure you will also be able to receive also the presentation afterwards.
Thank you very much, and I apologize for the technical problems.
No worries, no worries. Things happen. And it was really interesting, so thanks a lot. And I see lots of questions which we will discuss in about, I don't know, let's say around 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes. And so I will share my screen one last time today to invite Dr. Markus Pasche from University Jena, and he will be talking about another master's level program in economics. Dr. Pasche, then the floor is yours, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I'm the coordinator of this program, and I would like to share my screen first. I hope that it will work. All right, so you see it?
Everything works.
Good. So I will briefly introduce into the program Master of Science in Economics at our university, the Friedrich Schiller University in Jena. And first of all, I would also like to start with some nice pictures and a brief description of the city. So it's a nice night view of Jena. So you see here the city, and this area here in the foreground, that's where the campus is located, or more closer look to the campus also at night. So in this building here in the back right side, there's where our faculty is located. And here one view with daylight from the campus. So it's also directly located in the city. So you have very short ways to everything you need. So it's quite nice. And the surrounding of Jena invites for biking and hiking. So it's very nice environment. If you want to know anything, so the website of this master program is an excellent starting point for everything. So we have different FAQ lists for applicants and for students separately, where every single detail is answered. So I recommend to start there if you have any questions which are not clarified today in this webinar. So please have a look. All right, few keywords about our university. Our university is quite old, so more than 450 years old. We have 17,000 students meanwhile. We had a little bit more, but the student numbers decline in the last years. And it's a full university, so you can study nearly everything here. But you are here because you are interested in economics, obviously. More facts about Jena. So it's also a relatively small town, 111 or 110,000 citizens. We have some industry here where Jena is famous for, namely Carl Zeiss in the first place. I guess you have heard about this firm, Jenoptik and Schott. So that we have a certain focus on things which have to do with optics and with glass and so on. But we are also equipped with a lot of scientific institutions. So our Friedrich Schiller University, we also have a University of Applied Sciences, the so-called Ernst Abbe University. And we also have a couple of research institutes from the Helmholtz Society, the Max Planck Society, Fraunhofer Society, but all of them are more or less related to natural science, so not social science and economics. Regarding culture, so also here, Jena has something to offer. If you like more classical music, we have a Philharmonic Orchestra, but in July and August, we have each year the so-called Kulturarena Festival, which is more oriented to jazz and pop and things like that. Yeah, so I think you could enjoy also this environment. We have also sport clubs, and also from the university, we have some opportunities to do some sports. More about Jena, more about our university, you find directly on the website of my German university and in the links provided there. Good. About our faculty was founded after the German reunification. So like in Magdeburg, also from the beginning of the 1990s. Our faculty is a bit smaller than in Magdeburg. I heard you have 29 professors, we have 22, but this might be due to the fact that our faculty of political science is a separate one. So that's split up. So our program is about economics, not about economics and policy. So we have 22 professors, most of them from the Department of Business Administration, and 9 professors for economics, plus 2 senior lecturers, where I'm one of these 2. And from these 9 professors, we have also 3 professors from the EWH in Halle, which Ms. Vogt also mentioned. So they have a cooperation with several universities, so obviously also with Magdeburg, but also with Jena. And 3 of our professors have a co-affiliation with them. Well, that's quite nice. From winter next year, if everything goes well, it will be upgraded to 5 professors, which have a co-affiliation with the Research Institute in Halle, which, by the way, is one of the big economics research institutes in Germany. So it's quite famous. So that's our teaching stuff. So I do not provide the names. If you're interested, have a look to the website. Now, a few words about the structure of the program. Here there are some similarities to the program in Magdeburg. Our program is also 2 years, that means 4 semesters, and the typical workload is 30 ECTS per semester. That means 120 ECTS. That's the minimum for getting the master degrees, for the master degree. The teaching language is English. There are very tiny exceptions, but more about them on a slide later on. Our program is split up into two parts. We have a basic area, 48 credits, which also includes econometrics, or we call it empirical methods, but practically this means econometrics, advanced microeconomics, advanced macroeconomics. So that's very similar to the program in Magdeburg, and a couple of other compulsory and also elective courses in this basic area. And then you can specialize into different areas. I will show you on the next slide. Also, this covers 48 ECTS, and each specialization area consists also of some few compulsory courses and a relatively long list of elective courses where you can choose from. And you have to do 2 seminars, where one seminar must come from your chosen specialization area, and the other seminar is then free choice. Could be from your own specialization area, but could also be from any other specialization area. Yeah, and finally, the master thesis. So you see the master thesis has a quite large weight, so 20% of the total ECTS are for the master thesis, which you prepare typically in the last semester. So this will be your masterpiece where you can demonstrate your research skills and academic writing skills, quite intensively. So this counts a lot. And if you plan a future career in the academic system, then the content and the research orientation of the master thesis then really important. Yeah, regarding these specialization areas, let's have a look. So this, what we are offering, most of these areas are, I think, self-explaining. If you need some more information, there are also brief descriptions of each specialization area on the website. So innovation and change, I think it's clear. So economics of innovation, more with a focus on micro, that means structural changes within markets, market dynamics, but also growth. So that's more from the macro perspective. World economy, everything which has to do with trade and open economies, economics and strategy. This is, so that's more about game theory and experimental economics, behavioral economics. Public economics is, I think, self-explaining, so everything which has to do with the governmental sector, not only taxes and public debt, but also things like the public health system and public education system and so on and so forth. So another specialization area, so that's where I'm working. I'm associated to the chair of macroeconomics, entitled Macroeconomics and Financial Markets. I think this is also self-explaining. If you do not want to specialize, then there's another area called general economics. So that's a kind of non-specialization area, because the legal framework forces us that students must choose a specialization area. But we think maybe some students do not want to do that, and therefore there is a kind of escape, namely you choose general economics, where you just have a relatively long list of courses where you can more or less freely choose. And finally, region dynamics, that's an interdisciplinary specialization area jointly with the Department of Geography. This is the only exception where some courses are provided in German language, because the master in geography is in German. So all international students who have not enough German proficiency, and this means DSH2, so that's comparable with C1, cannot choose this specialization area. But up to now, to my knowledge, the accumulated number of students who have chosen regional dynamics is anyway extremely low. Good. So I will not go into the details what exactly you have to do in all these specialization areas, but as I've mentioned before, each of them consists of a list of compulsory and elective courses and seminars. There are some special features in Jena. So we have cooperations with 2 Italian universities, the University of Trento and the University of Insubria, located in Varese. And we run double degree programs, which means that the first 2 semesters you study in Jena, and then switch to the partner university in Italy, and then doing the other 2 semesters. And then at the end, whether you write your master thesis then at the Italian university or in Jena, that's then up to you. And then you get a double degree. So 1 certificate awarded by the Italian university and 1 by the Friedrich Schiller University in Jena. So that's quite nice opportunity, although unfortunately we do not have so many outgoing students. We have some incoming students, but not so many outgoing students, which might have to do with the fact that most of our students are anyway international students who came from another country to Germany and do not want to change their location then again. The second point is language courses. So you are encouraged to learn German because, yeah, afterwards you're also highly welcome for the German labor market, and this requires some German proficiency. And up to 2 language courses, that means up to 12 ECTS of these language certificates could be credited also for our curriculum. So that's quite nice. Then, depending on the content of the chosen modules, we offer the so-called DigiLab certificate, which means that if you participate in some courses which are related to computer facilities where you have to run regressions or making some computer stuff, because our program is also highly empirically oriented and quantitatively oriented, then you can get in on top to your certificate the so-called DigiLab certificate. And recently introduced, or it will be introduced in the upcoming winter term, is the so-called sustainability certificate. So here, if you have enough courses which are somehow related to sustainability, to the Sustainable Development Goals, then you get such an sustainability certificate on top if you want that. So there's no obligation. Yeah, I mentioned already the cooperation with the Research Institute in Halle, which in the first place means that there are some professors also affiliated with the University of Jena and giving some courses here. But for quite a talented student in higher terms, maybe there could also be invited for workshops and seminars in Halle at the Research Institute. This depends a little bit also on your performance. We do have a refresher course or a kind of bridging course, which is Moodle-based, so that's completely self-taught with video tutorials and quizzes and so on and so forth. So you can enroll in this Moodle course and then stay there for the entire study time, if you like. So that's a quite nice opportunity. And we introduced that because we observed that the heterogeneity in the pre-education in economics is quite heterogeneous. So not always, if we read in the transcript of records that you are educated in microeconomics, it doesn't fully meet the requirements here. And then the refresher course is a quite nice thing, not only to refresh your knowledge, but also to close some gaps if there are any. For some applicants, however, this refresher course could also be made obligatory, so that you have to take this in the first semester. But don't mind, it's just recap of bachelor stuff. Good, so the application, so this is has some similarities to Magdeburg, but also some differences. Our GPA, which is required, is 2.5 or better. So that's more the standard, 2.5. 2.6, yeah, is also possible if your application otherwise is very convincing, then you can also slightly deviate from that. But otherwise, 2.5 is the threshold. You should have 6 ECTS in mathematics and statistics. How to translate your local credits into ECTS is not overwhelmingly complicated. The only thing where I'm a little bit puzzled always is the Chinese system, where Chinese universities suggest that the factor is 1 to 1.5, so that you multiply your local credits with 1.5, but that's not always true, but because the ECTS is based on workload per semester. And then 30 ECTS in economics. And here we are relatively harsh to define what is economics. So courses like microeconomics, macroeconomics, international trade, so that's unambiguously clear that this is economics. But finance, for example, yeah, this could be economics related, but could also be more business finance. Yeah, management is business, accounting is business. So you find on our website some hints which courses are acknowledged as economics courses and which are more business administration related or management related. Also courses which are purely descriptive, like the economy of, let's say, Nigeria, for example, is also not seen as relevant pre-education. So therefore, this is the bottleneck, and from all rejections of applications, so the most frequent reason is that the education economics is not sufficient. So therefore, carefully check your transcript, whether you meet the requirements. And in case of doubt, it would be super informative also to provide module description, course descriptions or syllabi. Now, this would help the committee much to distinguish, is this really an economics course or not? Good, what is helpful? So that's what I mentioned. So it's very helpful if you provide some course descriptions. That's not a must, but it's helpful. And you should apply quite soon. So once when you need visa, in many countries, the visa procedures are very, very time consuming. And in contrast to Magdeburg, here in Jena, you have to enroll in person. That means you need to be in Jena mid of October. Yeah, and if you don't get a visa in due time, then unfortunately, you have to apply then again next year. So therefore, it's a recommendation to apply as early as possible. By the way, I didn't mention this on the slide, but here you do not apply via UniAssist, but you directly apply at the university at our Master Service Center. So we run an application platform where you upload your documents and all that, and you communicate via this platform, not via UniAssist. What is not so helpful are recommendation letters, so we largely ignore that. Also practical job experience, as we are not a Master of Business Administration, practical job experience is not that helpful because it's a research-oriented program. And if you work as an accountant, for example, then this just means that you are longer out of academia. Yeah, so that's not that helpful. The motivational letters you should keep short and informative. So please do not use so standard sample letters or that. So keep it short and with a certain focus. Why do you think that this is the right program for you? No? So one page is enough. We have a lot of applications each year, so several hundred applications. So therefore, the rejection rate is relatively high, and the acceptance rate 40% approximately, because we have some limited capacities for teaching. And most of the students who are then finally enrolled are international students, so between 80 and 90%. So also here we have a rich international experience. So you should take this as an asset, this variety of different cultures. So the recent years, for example, more and more students also came from Africa, but also China and other Asian countries are quite prominent here. Meanwhile, German students are in most courses a minority. Yeah. Good, so that's a brief overview. Otherwise, please ask me, and yeah, I'm curious about your questions you might have.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pasha, for the presentation or the details. You answered most of the questions already by the presentation, but let us still review them. I managed to answer 13 only, but we still have 24 open questions, and I suppose some of them could be repetitions, so let us see. First question is for Magdeburg, Miss Voigt. Somebody is apparently already applying and asks, when you have this form of similarity to fill out, should that as well be sent to UniAssist? And if my country has different ECTS system, should I convert that manually, or do you need any kind of proofs?
No. So we ask our applicants to fill in the relevant form. Just do your best. We anyway will check your transcript and the modules, but just in case we have questions, this is very, very helpful. And the relevance form is even for students to get an idea, am I qualified or not? Just, a double check for both of us. And you have to download it with the UniAssist documents. Just download it on UniAssist portal, please.
I think it's also on your page because I was also checking it, and you need to upload it on UniAssist, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
You need to upload it on UniAssist, but download from the program page.
Or it's on UniAssist available. So.
Then, Dr. Pasche, the question is for you regarding this refresher course. When can one start with this refresher course for the course in Jena?
Yeah, so this course is hosted, is a Moodle-based course and hosted on our server. So right from the beginning, you get a key for self-enrollment. But in addition, but this is really privately financed by myself. So I also run a private server and with a private Moodle server where I have a copy of this course. So on request, applicants can also register on this private server for this course for free, even before they come to Jena. So just right now, for example.
Okay, thank you so much for the details. And then there is a question, is it again for Magdeburg, Mr. Voigt? Is it possible for you to check my documents before applying through UniAssist?
No, this is not possible as we have limited staff, unfortunately. This is why we are making use of the UniAssist service. We just have limited staff here. Please go through the relevance form and, study our information on the website. There you find the information you need, and then everything is going well, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, thank you.
Same for Jena.
Yeah, oh yeah, even though there is a direct application, yeah, please submit the application. Now here's a question for both programs. You both mentioned the thesis and research orientation. However, here is a question still. Is it possible to do an internship as a part of the program? Maybe Dr. Pasche could start and
okay.
Then...
Yeah, you can do that, but it's not an obligatory part of the curriculum. But if you take an internship, then you can apply for a so-called term on leave, because then you cannot participate in the courses or exams. And then this term does not count for these 4 semesters. And many students are doing so. And we are writing also supporting letters, but it's not an obligatory part of the curriculum.
The same in Magdeburg. So it's not part of the study program, but of course our students should take an internship, but they should organize it themselves. They can make use of the Career Service Center, or we have a job fair on campus once a year. There they can get in contact with companies, but the internship is not included in our study program.
And this also...
Yeah, good keyword. You mentioned the Career Service Center. We also have such a Career Service Center, by the way. Yeah.
I wanted to also follow up. Will that mean that the length of studies will be extended if they take a semester kind of on leave?
Yeah, of course, no? But then you finish maybe in 2.5 or 3 years, but this term then does not count because there's also an upper limit for the maximum semesters, but this will not count for that.
Yeah. The same at our university.
You also, both of you mentioned about backgrounds and, for example, Diana, you also mentioned the ECTS for economics. But here's a question. Please, I want to ask if a management student with bachelor can apply for economics. Is Prince from, yeah. So is it possible to have a background in management? It's broader because you don't see the syllabi and also ECTS right now, but
it always depends on the transcript of records. So most students who apply and also successfully apply hold a bachelor in business administration and something, but they have enough economics courses. But sometimes if you have a bachelor, let's say, only in management or only in accounting, then it's not so likely that you will have 30 ECTS in economics. But it depends on. No, it depends on your program.
We really have to check the transcript, and in general, it is possible. So for our student or applicants, is usually the tricky part, the quantitative methods. So, you know, modules in statistics and advanced math, we have many applicants, they apply with college algebra or calculus. This is, we cannot recognize that advanced math modules. Our economics, finance and management modules are, the range is wider, of course. Yeah, the quantitative methods are very important for our study programs.
Since we have mentioned, like in case somebody extends their studies, the question is, if the studies proceed to 5th semester, will we have to pay for an extra semester? Like semester fees apply always for all semesters, but is there anything extra to pay if somebody extends the studies, except of the normal semester fees?
No, no tuition. So in our state, there is no maximum of semesters, but of course, visa issues will apply. So, and our students have to, or you know, all students have to prove for living expenses. So these are the extra costs. What are really not extra costs, but you know, this is what they have to count on.
Now here we do have a maximum, so you can study 3 semesters more. So that means in total 7. And the current cohorts, they have extra terms because of these Corona stuff. No? So the Corona semesters, we have an extra or 2 extra semesters on top. So that's quite a long time. But 7 semesters is here the maximum.
I have 2 questions for both of you regarding specializations. So first is for Ms. Voigt. Are the so-called compulsory electives only about classical economics topics? And then
I cannot clearly answer this question. So there we have to check out the semester-wise offer. So there are modules which we have maybe just next winter semester or something like that. So however, compulsory electives can be chosen from a special list of modules which are recognized for the study program. Unfortunately, I cannot really in detail answer this question.
No worries, thank you. And then Dr. Pasha, similar thing for you. So the basic courses have their own electives and the specializations part also has its own elective. Did I get it correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the question already? Okay.
Yeah. Both of you mentioned specific GPAs. And the question is it very strict requirement or is it possible to compensate with some other elements? Anyone who would like to start?
So we are, due to the very high number of applicants, so between 500 and 600 per year, and we have, our teaching capacity is about 80 seats approximately, and we have to take anybody who fulfills the criteria. So therefore, the only chance we have is to interpret and to apply the criteria in a quite strict manner. So 2.6 or 2.7 is possible only if it's convincing otherwise, so a very quantitative bachelor program and with a lot of economics, and if we have a good idea about also the quality and level of teaching. So in many countries, we read the transcript of records, but we are not sure, based on long year experience, we are not sure what they are really doing there. And in those countries, we are then quite strict.
Yeah, and we are very strict. So 2.9 is really a strict rule. And what I can tell you is from experiences that students not having this GPA are not really successful with our study program. Usually they're finished before they receive the degree.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Voigt, then I will stay with you. There's Anthony Komba, who I guess is in the process of application. So he has 3 questions. First is about, again, the background, which you partially already addressed, that you need to see the syllabus or curriculum first. So the question, I will just read it all, and then you can select which part to answer, not to repeat. Question to Madame Grid. I have a bachelor's in project management, but I also have completed courses in MA in economics. I still want to apply for this master. Would I be eligible? And is there any stipend to selected applicants? And will I still need TOEFL or IELTS if my bachelor degree was entirely in English?
So yes, you need to prove your English skills with IELTS or TOEFL with C.1 on C.1 level for sure. And you know, if you have, for example, a bachelor and a master degree, please download all the transcripts and we will check all the modules. And then we will see you fulfilling the academic requirements with the quantitative methods and economics and business modules. Yeah. So we cannot, just from your degree, we cannot say you are eligible or not. You will be accepted or not. We really have to check out the transcripts.
Now again, for like last question for, or some of questions for Dr. Pasche. One was about specialization. So when should students select those? Will they have any kind of consultations? And is it only one specialization? Can they kind of combine, I don't know, 2? And again, from the same area is Dr. Marcus. Does the macroeconomics and financial markets option delve into financial economics?
Okay, so first regarding the specialization areas, you should choose them during the first term, but you can also change later on. But you should not wait too long, because otherwise you have a lot of sunk costs if you are doing a lot of stuff in this specialization area and then want to switch to another one, which is possible. But maybe some of the courses you have done before do not count for the new specialization area. So therefore you should be careful. Maybe it could be a good strategy to start with courses which are more multi-purpose one, or starting more with the basic stuff, so that you have more time to deliberate which specialization area you want to choose or whether you want to change. You can also do more than one, which is quite untypical, because there is a kind of overlapping. So some courses which count for specialization area A are also on the elective list of specialization area B, or the other way around. So sometimes if you make some more courses than necessary, you fulfill the criteria maybe for 2 specialization areas, and then you will get an extra. So it will not both will be mentioned on your diploma certificate, but you will get an extra letter from the examination office that you are fulfill the criteria of the other specialization area too. All right, and the second question was about
macroeconomics and
macroeconomics, and yeah. So there are some some obligatory courses, of course, so that you cannot completely specialize in financial markets, because there will also be some compulsory courses in macro. Yeah, but otherwise you can slightly set the focus more in this direction or in that direction, of course.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last final question for both of you, it's really brief. Can one still apply if they are still in the final semester and they are about to graduate?
Yes. And this happens quite often, even for our own bachelor students who need some ECTS. So they start applying in the summer term, but the summer term is not over yet. So they do not have yet their bachelor degree. But so this happens quite often. So that's possible.
And for Magdeburg?
Yes, with 140 ECTS. So, however, this applies only to the countries which are part of the European education, not European Union, yeah, Bologna, right. And from my point of view, from my experiences, it is really advisable to finish the bachelor and then to get ready to apply for a master in Germany, from my experiences. Because if you're going to Germany to study in another country, there are so many things you have to take care. And usually with a bachelor degree, if you finish, you write a bachelor thesis or your final exam, it is super time-taking and stressful. And it would be just wonderful if you prepare everything. Yeah, you have more time for preparation, even maybe a German language course, and then you can start here your master's perfectly.
May I add something? So I fully agree. So I couldn't agree more. But anyway, if you have not yet finished your bachelor and you apply, and you will get a letter of admission, if you have good luck, then it will anyway be a conditional admission, conditional to the fact that you have finished your bachelor before you are enrolling for the master.
Yeah, this is really important.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. You have to prove here your bachelor's. And in case there's one missing module or whatever that could happen, you have to go home. They have to send you home. And I think this is, yeah, not the way it should be for everybody.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. So yeah, I see that the most of the questions were answered. There are still 6 questions open, but there are more technical or the ones that took kind of repetition. For example, about fees and scholarships, 𝘗𝘪𝘵𝘀. I shared the link in chat about scholarships, about German language courses. It was already mentioned during the presentations. And there are some specific questions like with your final grades, etc. So it's really difficult to always estimate if you are eligible or not with just this not so deep information. That's why there is the application process and or admission committees take few weeks to assess applicants because they look it deeply. Therefore, yeah, saying yes or no right now will be really difficult, and also it could discourage you even if you are a good applicant. Therefore, I would like to thank our guests for being here, your presentations, your time, of course, and then answering so many questions. Dear attendees, dear applicants, I wish you best of luck with your applications and then great start of your semester in Germany in October or whenever you, maybe you come earlier, I don't know. So yeah, best of luck and then have a nice rest of the day and week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.